You guys ready? Here we go. Okay, so our players have started. It's Lycos from Team England versus Bouzzy from France playing the Lizardmen. While they do their setup, let's have a quick look at their rosters, shall we? This time it's slightly easier to understand what's going on here. Sorry, that's wrong on the right-hand side. Let me update that. There we go. Holy crap, people are applauding outside. Ah, that hurts so much. Is it raining?
It's raining.
Holy, what's going on? Okay, it's raining. So a quick update here on this. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's you're right, Jimmy. I'm terribly sorry. I haven't updated the Necro roster either. There we go. Whoosh, stressful. So we are, like I said, Bouzzy's Lizardmen. They are pretty easy to keep track of. All the 6 samurai have block, and that's about it. Otherwise, it's bog standard. 2 rerolls, and 1 apothecary, and 1 fan factor, apparently. Whereas, I need to double check. Yes, so Lycos, Necros do not have... There are still some things that are wrong with this roster. Let me update the rerolls, and there is no coaches and no cheerleaders on Lycos roster either. So there we go. That's what it should look like. So we have less skills to deal with this time around. Let me remove the overlay. So hopefully it should be easier to tell what's what this time around. Let's go over Lycos roster pretty quickly since he has more different types of pieces. Of course, 2 flesh golems, 1 green here. I'm pretty sure that's one of them, and the other blue one would be here. The green one has guard, and the blue one has a block. There is also 1 scary werewolf here, which has mighty blow claw. The other one is less scary because he doesn't. Actually, the other one is equally scary in the sense that he has block. So that's actually probably. It's still slightly tricky to figure things out here, but we'll try and make do. Our players are playing with a slightly different ball this time around. Hopefully this one will be as, well, even easier to deal with. Sure. So Lycos here starting the first hand turn on the offensive. That green piece right here is the other one of the guard whites, and the other white here is a tackle white. I should write that down so I don't forget it, because otherwise it's going to be very confusing for me. So we're going to add blue here. I'm going to add
2 dice here.
blue. And the blocks start. That's a defender stumbles. Yes, so with the normal, so what's going to happen is once the players get a hold of the ball, they're just going to put their piece onto the other player base. Well, on top of it, rather. So we'll see. The Necro team, Lycos Necro team, has 11 players. And as far as I can tell, we double check again, no apothecary. Well, they're Necro, so why would I? This is me working casting on like 4 hours of sleep, and we're like, why is there no apothecary on a team that can't have an apothecary? The Lizardmen, though, they do have an apo. In case one of them gets knocked out. They also have 12 players, as we can see by one of the skinks. Hang on. One of the skinks being over here in the reserves.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Okay, and that's a stun on the Crocs. We did ask the players that they would put a marker if someone is stunned, just to make it easier to see. So this is the stunned marker currently. Let's see what the Necros are going to do about this. Of course, they do have 2 pieces with Claw, which means that the armor 9 of the Lizardmen might be less stressful to deal with than otherwise. I don't actually need that monster as well. So 2 green pieces here. Green is of course guard. Did I spell that correctly? Yes, I did. Good, because I'm always worried about that when I'm like, how do I even spell that? And here we have the blue, one of the blue block pieces. I'm going to assume that this is the Blodge, Blodge Ghoul.
European team being well, yes, we had some very good friends of ours play together with us in a tournament in England. So
some background information there.
Although it's a competition, a lot of us are all very good friends. Because we go to France quite a lot and play in tournaments in France.
Yes, I'm pretty sure he can. That's what I. No, I think the Crocs is this piece over here, and I think you guys are right in that he used the Apple to stop a KO from turning into, or stop a KO from being a KO and turning it into a stun. Yeah, big base with the ball on, that seems to be good. That's not what we have at the table, so we see we might go back to the coin. Maybe we can find someone that has a spare ball on a large base. No, Trongen, it is definitely the player microphone. The audio situation at the feature table is horrible. It's never going to be good. It's mostly there so that we can sometimes hear them. But yeah, it kind of destroys your ears. It's one thing where we could, if we had the budget money, we could always mic up the coaches, but that would take some extra time, and it might fail, and I'd also have to get other audio solutions. So it's one of those cases where it's like you could do work on it, but I don't think it's actually worth it for what we're trying to do. So the Lizardmen on their first turn here, going for a blitz by the look of things. That's just a push, unfortunately. Let me once again, because I can, let me first of all find my mouse. Then we will move this dice tower, I think, up here for actually, you know what, we can put it right here, I think. Yeah. So it's out of the way. Destroyed ears are making watching Blood Bowl totally worth it. I don't know about that, but thank you for watching.
It's almost like we'll just put the token down when he is stunned.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, and that's the end of the first half for the Lizardmen. The Necro has so far secured the ball, which is good for them. I'm gonna have a think tomorrow about maybe getting some extra light on this pitch, because it's slightly darker than I want it to make. That's a push and a...
Oh, we don't know. What do we do there when it knocks a dice? You use one and then it knocks the other one around. But we don't know that's what it was. We have one throw and a roll, we don't know. We do not know, absolutely. What do we do there? I see one roll, yes, and you show the second one.
Okay, so they're discussing about what to do when the dice tower...
That's what we don't know, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be easier if we just make sure they both get rolled together, I think. Yeah, probably in the future.
Okay, so it's been sorted. Normally in these cases it's always easier to have the coaches decide on something. Of course, most of the time you want to do that ahead of time, but sometimes you get into situations where you're like, oh, this is the thing now. well, Sar Anon, I'm not Norwegian, so if you consider that being awesome, I'm afraid I've failed you. It'll be interesting to see where Lycos decides to go here, because of course he has the... It's pretty open to where he wants to go, but it seems like he is focusing a bit on... Well, he is going to go to the top, or his right. I always want to talk about right or left here, but that makes little sense since we're watching from the side here. Just securing the ball again. Well, making sure it's secure. There are, of course, skinks that can possibly, if they wanted to, run around over here, but they are strength 2, and it's going to cost a lot of movement. I'm actually not sure they can actually make it over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Possible, but who knows how likely that is. And we see some more pushes here, moving one of the block Sorai back. This looks so much more realistic than Blood Bowl 2. No, we need some more light on these. The issue currently, at least for me, is that when you walk around in EuroBowl, like, everyone has really nice pieces. In fact, when I got here, and I haven't shown it off on stream yet, I got the most amazing Musator, which is meticulously painted and it's lovely. And with this lighting, unfortunately, you can't really see it. But let's see here what Bouzzy does. I mean, it's always a case of the Lizardmen are so fast, but if they are based, they are kind of stuck. But they can, well, they're comparatively fast for being strong. But they could threaten more if they wanted to, or they can just try and have a stronger defensive line. But then they're not really possibly getting the most out of their skinks. Well, Sura says that wouldn't matter anyways, because Paradox wants to develop their own IPs, and Games Workshop wants to develop their own IPs too. So the Paradox wouldn't, even if they like Blood Bowl, they wouldn't develop a Blood Bowl game. Dropping clangers, I would love to show off the teams a bit more. Unfortunately, it's one of those cases where there are so many games to go through that it's kind of like you're lucky if you get them here on time, get all the information in, and then get them on their way. Unfortunately, so no, the coaches do not play on a timer. Once a game starts, or at game start, each match has 2.5 hours to play out. If a coach thinks that the other coach is playing too slowly, they can call for the ref, and then they might start playing on a chess timer. But they don't start out playing on a chess timer. People are assuming that it's not going to take like too long. That was a pound, unfortunately. We missed the other dice there, Martin. So we're seeing slightly too much. There we go. Martin's fixing it for us. Yes. So the Crocs is in on the action here. Let's see what they can do. A push. Well, both down, but that's not happening. Okay, and that's... So that is one of the flesh golems. That's a guard flesh golem, the green flesh golem. But Lycos is deciding to not use stand firm. here in this case. So Bouzzy has to decide on where to push the flesh golem. Unless that's not... it might be that I misheard and he's actually using stand firm then. That's probably it, because other pieces are moving. That's that's the downside of not having clear audio. More pushes here, and as we've seen in the first two games on the feature table, it's usually the right-hand side from our perspective, so in this case the Lizardmen, who are going to suffer the most casualties, because that's the way Nuffle deemed it to be. But you know what? This game might be different. So, and that's the blue. Let's see here. That's a.
It's quite double zero. Hello.
It's another blue flesh golem here in the middle. Here is the blue block flesh golem, and here's the green guard flesh golem. If I've seen everything correctly, which I hopefully have, and this yellow here is the tackle white, and the what else do we have? This is the red one here is the scary one, because that is the claw mighty blow wolf, and the other wolf is over here, I think, which is the block wolf. Does tabletop have kickoff events? Yes, they have the same kickoff events as as Blood Bowl 2 from Cyanide or Fumble, depending on where you play. Ooh, that's a both down and a skull, so that doesn't really matter for anyone, I think, because that was the pretty sure that was the block werewolf here. Okay, here comes the claw mighty blow werewolf, and that's a POW. That is better. Of course, claw mighty blow means that armor value is reduced to 7, and that might do damage here. Unfortunately, it didn't. And as some of you more, those of you that have been here for longer, you might notice that the coaches are playing with different dice, and that's because they asked if they could. Or Bouzzy wanted to play with his own D6s, and we were like, sure, that's fine, as long as they show up in the dice cam. Yeah, so far the werewolves they're scary, but so far they seem to be friendly with their claws rather than anything else.
3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and 3.
Own dice must be rigged dice. I guess the trick there is that both coaches are playing with the same die, so it doesn't matter if they're rigged or not.
What a strange game.
Yeah, what a strange game. Nothing's happening. Just pushing people around. And turn 3 for the Lizards coming up. Let's see, how hard is it to get to that ball? It's being held by a ghoul. I'm pretty sure it's the blodge ghoul standing there being annoying. Now I'm pushing some extra cookies into my face so I get more sugar.
Very pushes. And no armor rolls. I don't think there's hardly been an armor break once. One armor break in the game here.
Yeah, it's
Push. Is that very thin at the moment?
as Lycos points out, not that many things changing the state of the game right now. The Lizardmen with strength 4 are normally so strong, but here for the most part they have pieces that can kind of go toe to toe with them too. Flesh golems that are equally strong, but they also have some guard and some block here. But there they knock down one of the flesh golems, but nothing happens. And as long as the Sora aren't going anywhere, they can't really do that much with their skinks either. So they're stuck with their 6 Soras and the Crocs in the middle here, just pushing people around.
Yeah. Let's be closer. Right. That's the best now. 2 dice on the who? On the ghoul, yes. 3, 4, 5 versus 4, 5, 6 of the pack, yeah.
So counting the strength there and knocking down the ghoul. For now, the ghoul is going to lie down on the floor and just be annoying. We'll see if we get some armor rolls here, but first Bouzzy has to decide where he actually wants to place the damn ghoul. Everything for once, not for once, but compared to, say, the elf game we had earlier when the defensive line was this whole, like this is a much smaller space where everything is contained, which is interesting.
Nothing, no one's neither is doing anything.
No one is injuring anyone. So everything is kind of tight, which is interesting considering the Lizardmen are so fast with the skinks, and the Necro have some really fast units, but also some really slow ones. And that's a both down, and that knocks down that piece. And that, I think, was the skeleton.
No. Movement of Kotsuga. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, and the Crocs wants to move, realizing that, or feeling that the upper side here is weak from the Lizardmen's perspective. They move the Crocs over to get some added strength, especially after having knocked down, from what I can see, both of the flesh golems here and here. Who won the elf game? The elf game was won by the wood elf coach, Jiminy. We should get ourselves a light here for tomorrow, Martin, because I feel like it's slightly darker than it could be, but we'll see what we can do about that.
For the table.
Yeah, for the feature table. But we don't need it now. We'll just have a think about it tomorrow. And I don't know how I feel about the so the results so far have been pretty mediocre when it comes to both the block dice and the injury results so far. And chat instantly starts talking about cheat dice. Okay, so possibly thinking of shifting sides here. That's the yellow tackle white is looking to switch sides. That tackle white looks a lot like a normal human lineman from this angle. Maybe it is. Who knows? The contrast is very low. I don't think I can up the contrast, actually. But I might be able to look into that. Oh, actually, I don't want to do that right now. Because it might affect the actual stream. What I could do, though...
The 2 into 1 means as in him. If he goes here, that's 2 dice. When he pushes, it's only 1 dice. And you get blocked. So that's the problem with him. And if they risk and then if you knock these guys, you get hit on him. And I don't want to move him unless I know he's down. Catch 22. Blitz is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 die hit 6. Hey, come on. Wait. That's yes. Yeah. True. That's done. Yeah, that's a good idea. Put it next to it. Something.
Okay, there we go. We boosted the contract a bit. It's slightly fuzzy now, but hopefully it's a bit easier to see what's going on. Give me some information about what you think, guys. Oh, and that's a stunned Sorai there in the middle. Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, I think it's better too. Okay, so seems like we're doing a dodge that is probably a 6. Because otherwise that would have succeeded. And the green piece there would be the dodge, the blodge ghoul. No dodging allowed. And a 7. That doesn't do anything. So let's see what happened. The Croc wants to move and manages to move back the action. We'll see. We're actually in a pretty interesting situation in the sense that because of this move happened, there's still quite a lot of open area here. And most of the Lizardmen are they're stuck on pieces that have based them here. So they need to they need to free them up, or they have to start using the skink, which looks like what's actually happening here. But the skinks, of course, are usually easier to get past because only strength 2, armor value 7 tends to, you know, make for a squishy player, especially since they have stunty. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens next turn and how Lycos can possibly move forward. It should be turn 4, but Bouzzy has forgotten to move his turn counter. That's me moving my share around. Ooh. Thank you very much, Martin. You are the best. And we finally get a POW. But nothing happens. That's a 7. So clearly they decided to play with the dice that result in no injury whatsoever. We'll see here, squeezing some more Lizardmen in. Also, interestingly, opening up the top flank for everyone. Moving some. Oh, and that's an actual POW, I think. Well, I guess we'll find out when the hands clear here. Normally, the way you can tell that a piece has been moved is that the coach will turn that piece around, and then turn them back at the start, or just turn them around again. So you kind of have to remember if all your pieces are facing forward or facing backwards. And I think we can see Bouzzy doing that here, in that when he's moved a piece, he turns them around. So. It's actually, I think it's one of those cases where it's kind of harder to tell on video, but it's not that hard to tell when you're actually playing. You normally never fall for that. Here the reroll comes out, and it's now a push instead. That does not result in a turnover, so that's good for Bouzzy. And the follow-up block here on the Flash Golem is a POW. But of course, nothing happens.
Well, good start here. 10-5. Listen, well, neither of us do anything. Yeah, neither of us. It's too much push, too much push, too much push. The tower.
Yeah, no, both coaches are slightly disappointed in the lack of lethal options in the game so far. Not much is happening. Few pieces have been stunned, but that's pretty much it. We did see Bouzzy use his Apothecary early to get rid of a KO, but since then, nothing. Yeah, that's apparently both of the coaches wondering, where is the blood? And it's not at the feature table today. That's for sure. It's it'll be interesting to see here how far Lycos wants to push up. If he wants to go on the bottom flank and try and build a secure cage over there, and it seems like by placing that red piece down there, the Mighty Blow Wolf. He seems to be pushing forward quite hard.
5, 6.
And here comes the other wolf, the block wolf.
It was flat. Sorry, take that, yeah. It was flat. Take the push. Still 2 dice.
Yeah, so taking the push. Note to self, have higher. Ooh, that's a double POW. As we know, those are always twice as lethal as a normal block die. We'll see if they get some here. That's an 8. And that's a 10. So that's how you do it. You use the NAF dice first, then you use the red and white die, and that's how you get the results you want. That's the first proper injury of the game. It's no surprise that it's a skink, but at least there's some blood on the pitch now. And in case you're wondering why there was no injury roll rolled after that, since the APA has already been used, there isn't really any reason to roll it, because regardless of the result, that player is going to be out for the rest of the game. And since it's a resurrection tournament, they will be back in the game after this regardless.
We're not doing any damage to each other. It's really,
oh, more POWs apparently. Let's see if the good times can keep rolling here as Lycos knocks down what I assume to be one of the Saurus.
He was there and I pushed him to there, so I knocked him down. Just crowd push.
Let's see what happens. Oh, close. Well, I say close, but it's a 7. It's not that close. Now, we'll see where... So currently, the bull is actually standing next to one of the skinks, who could, in theory, throw a half block or 2 die against here. But it's a hard one to pull off. But we'll see what happens. At least I think that should be a skink. If this isn't a skink, I don't know what is. We'll see. That's a 3 for the dodge out. And running up and basing another skink. Of course, remember, green is guard in this case. So this should be the guard white, because the guard flesh golem is over here. Oh, is this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Is that, did I count that correctly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, unfortunately, because these are Sauruses, they have agility 1, so the fact that there is a path and just being blocked by 1 dodging into 2 tackle zone, it means that's not something that's going to happen. Lycos making sure that everyone's on the correct turn. So it's a difficult position, this, in a sense. Oh. Especially when the Saurai try to flee on their own accord. So where's Bouzzy going to go with the few... well, the one Saurus, as far as I can see, that's free. He might be able to free up this one that's standing above the flesh golem here if the... Or the other way around, if the if either of these manage to knock down the flesh golem, then they can hopefully move. But that's a big if. With stand firm, it has to be a knockdown, because otherwise the flesh golem is just going to stay in place. And that is the blue ringed flesh golem, and the blue ringed flesh golem has block, so only knock down on a 5 or a 6 essentially. Defender stumbles or a POW. So Bouzzy's still counting here. It's an important turn, because if this goes well for Bouzzy, he might be able to actually stop the push from Lycos and change things around. And if it doesn't work, Lycos should be able to put a pretty solid cage down in the back end of Bouzzy's pitch. We are still on turn 5. It's going to be Lycos' turn 6 coming in, and I think Lycos would like to end this half at 1-0. And to do that, he kinda has to score on turn 8. That's a 2. Yeah. So manages to knock down the mighty blow claw werewolf there. Then the question is what to do next. Follow up, risking a possible, slightly unlikely, but still possible surf, or keeping it one place back and then letting the skink possibly get surfed. This, of course, depends kind of on the result of the injury rolls, but that's a 10, so that's good enough. Let's see if they can get some more good times. No, that's just a stun. So since they're since they're good coaches, Bouzzy did all of that before he rolled the injury, because he has to decide if he wants to follow up before the injury results have been rolled. Otherwise, it would be a much easier choice. Okay, and that manages to knock down the flesh golem that we talked about, and should free up one more Saurus. And the question is, where does that Saurus go? Bouzzy's back to counting again, trying to figure out the best position for his pieces that he has left. Okay, here comes the one-die block. Remember that the flesh golem up there has a guard, which means, and strength 4, so blocking the strength 3, I think that is the skeleton, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. And then here comes the 2-die, and that works fine. Stand firm, keeping the flesh golem in place. Here we go. That's a 9. And the flesh golems, of course, have armor value 9, so not an armor break, but inching closer. And by removing both of those pieces, he could finally move up the last Sora that's been stuck further back. This game has a certain type of low intensity to it. And I think it's partly because of how Bouzzy plays, and that he's now doing his very best to think through his turn, making sure that... Oh, okay. I don't know how loud that is on stream, but it's really loud in my ears. Okay, so... Bouzzy electing not to go any further with the Sorai. 1-die and a push. Means you get to push back the Sorai and can finally stand up the last Saurus. Could we get a screamer at the table? Honestly, I don't think any of these coaches are screamers normally. It's because they're sitting right next to the rest of their team, so it's a lot easier to be a screamer and just cheer for the rolls. Yeah, like it's once people scream a lot, the microphone on the web camera peaks and you can't really hear it. So that's more skinks out. Wasgob, I highly recommend that you play the stream in 1080p, that you full screen it. I think that's the best option for this. So, Lycos moving up here with a zombie next to the Sorai. Okay, blitzing with the other ghoul here, and that is good enough. Oh, and double sixes on the armor value. What's the injury then? It's an 8. That's another KO. This, it's a good thing Bouzzy has one skink in reserves, because there's only one left on the pitch now. Of course, two of them being KO, it's pretty likely that... Let me get this out of the way. It's pretty likely that one of them comes back, but that is correct. The colors relate to the base colors. So each skill on the left represents the extra skill they have. Of course, they do have their normal skills as well. Now, since I'm very bad at French, I do not know what they're talking about, but I think it relates to skinks somehow. Meantime, it'll be interesting to see what Lycos' plan is here. Is the ball carrier going to stay put? Is he going to try and move it somewhere else, or just holding out? He still needs to stay in this area for this turn and one more afterwards. That's just a push. That's unfortunate. Well, Astral Dream at least apparently knows more French than me, so can confirm that is about skinks. Okay, so far Lycos is leaving the werewolf down. We'll see if the werewolf moves, but Lycos is now moving back with the ball carrier. And it might very well be that the werewolf was actually stunned. My memory is shot. I don't remember anything anymore. Oh. That is a defender stumbles. Yeah, so the Mighty Blow Werewolf was stunned. Thank you very much, Bleeding Hippie, for helping out. Let's see. In some of these... Don't we have the skill packages here somewhere, Martin? We do. So for... let's see. For Tier 2 teams, which Necromantic is part of, you get to take 6 normal skills, 1 double skill, and 20k extra in cash. So, and you can only put no more than 1 skill on 1 player. So that means that the Necromantics have access to 1 double. No, Daiwim, you can most definitely move the ball carrier backwards if you want. That is totally fine. It's usually not advisable to move him too far back, but that's to regroup and move over, that's totally fine. That's a knockdown on the... I keep referring him to the yellow player, but it's the tackle ghoul. No, white, sorry. It's the tackle white. One of them has guard, the other one has tackle. I was very confused for a second, Daiwim, because I'm like, Daiwim watches a lot of streams. Surely he knows how this works. I'm not at the point where I can where I understand jokes. Oh, that's a 10. That's a good result. Let's see what happens to the flesh golem. Oh, and that flesh golem is gone. Let's see what the regen says. That's a 4. That's goes back into reserve. Bouzzy not happy about that. You wanted someone who was passionate at the table. There you go. But good show for Bouzzy there. And suddenly, oh, okay, secondary reroll to make sure that this GFI works. It falls out of the dice tower, but it's a 4. Okay, but that was a good turn for Bouzzy there. Getting something onto the ball and getting rid of one of the flesh golems that have just been standing in the middle, taking up time and space for stopping the Saurus from moving anywhere. We'll see what Lycos can do about this. Okay, more blocks incoming. We'll see how that goes. That's a defender stumbles. Okay, so that was a blitz. That's my bad for not seeing that. But because the reroll was used on the GFI, there is no reroll, and of course that is a ghoul with dodge. So ball is still safe. Let's okay. Who's deciding there where to go from here? And one dice top. That's a POW. That is the one dice you want. But no armor break, unfortunately for Bouzzy there. Dodging with the... Oh. Really close to actually making that. But instead, the graph does not punish. Snake Eyes on the armor roll, on the failed dodge, and it's turn 7. Let's see how Lycos can recover this. It's interesting. There's actually... Lycos has 9 pieces on the pitch, but it feels like there's, for some reason, a lot less. But there are starting to look like there are holes in the Lizardmen lineup here in the middle. The question is just how do you go about stopping these Sauri from actually getting to whatever runs through this possible hole that might be created here in the middle. And I'm talking about this area here. If for example, if this guy's pushed back here, Lycos can run around this way if he wants to. If this guy is pushed down, but I think that's the Crocs, then of course there's even more ways to go up here. Okay, here comes the Blitz, but the Blitz is on the Skink, provided they claw Mighty Blow piece, and that's a double POW. That is that's definitely what you want when going up against the Skink. We'll see if it breaks armor. It does with Mighty Blow, and that means it is actually time for an injury roll. Remember, they are stunty, and that is one more Skink that's in the injury box. Okay, so rather than trying to go through the middle here, Lycos just keeps going on the side where he's already been holding out, and by eliminating that Skink, making sure it's a lot easier to get through, because, well, otherwise it wouldn't really have worked. We'll see if the Sora can do anything about this. If it's one thing they don't like, it's tackle sounds. And now knocking down another Sorai here, and the other ones next to it are both based. That's an 8. That's not going to be enough, unfortunately. Oh, it was enough. I was wrong. Because... nope, it's only multiplier on the red, but I guess I read that wrong, probably. But we'll see. And I was just now talking about how it felt like there were so many Lizardmen on the pitch, and there weren't that many Necrons, or not Necrons, Necros. And I feel like it's shifted. Now there's like, where did all these Necromantics come from, and where are all the lizards at? Oh yeah, of course, Claw. I'm sorry. See, this is me not being smart. Of course, Claw. Claw breaks armor. Necrons would be OP. So Bouzzy is trying to figure out what his options are, what can he do to try and get onto this ball here. Unfortunately for him, all of his Sorais are either based or they're on the ground, but the one that's just on the floor might be able to move. It's a difficult situation because he can always blitz out and go base the ball carrier that way, but if that happens... Okay, so that's a block, that's a push, that's that. Let's see here, he still hasn't used his blitz. But if he can't at least get a ball or a player onto the ball carrier, this is at least turn 8 for Lycos is going to end in a touchdown. So there's math happening here. Now dodging out with 1 in agility is usually very difficult. To do it would require a 5+, which is 33%, and that's happening. Let's see what the dice say. That's a 3, and the blitz fails. And how deadly is the floor? It's not deadly enough because a 3 plus a 6 is just 9.
There and there, and the blitz will be 1. Blitz. 1. Yep. 2 dice and 2 dice.
Oh, that's doing those. I was gonna say Bouzzy, but I do think Lycos has a reroll, but he decided to go for the both down and scored a touchdown. Martin, do you mind marking that on the pitch? Thank you very much.
And then you get the KO, and then they quickly, those turns, around turn 6 and 7, I've got a couple of, yeah, so those KOs are now really quite big. So, I have a KO as well. Yes. Oh, no, yes.
No, the Skinks do not come out. The Soros comes back. That's luckily for Bouzzy, he does have 1 more attempt after this one turn, but it does mean it's going to be tricky, if not impossible, to do a 1-turn score here with that setup of characters.
Yeah, 1 skink is not quite going to be enough for a 1-turner. No.
Yeah. So we'll see what Lycos does here instead. If he feels secure that there won't be.
Yeah. Leave a lot. Yeah. So it's not perfectly lined up, but that's it. Yeah. KO rolls are now really big for the second half.
Yeah.
Both of them really.
As Lycos points out, the KO rolls in the second half are going to mean a lot for Bouzzy's chance to come back and possibly win this here. If he gets at least another skink back, then he has a chance to possibly score quickly and then try and steal it. If they all stay out, it's going to be difficult for Bouzzy to do anything. Of course, he might be able to have... He still has a ball carrier in the skink, but once that skink is gone, his hopes of winning this game and our hopes of Team England being crushed is once again gone. They're staying up there. They we're showing the England versus France game because my understanding is that they're still in the top. That's a for one. Let's see how the skink does it. That's perfect weather. And weather's 9.
That's right. So he doesn't get the free catch now. Ah, okay. Yeah, 8. And then once more. So, 33.
Now I need to double check the weather and see what 9 actually is, because I don't remember.
Change straight from the kickoff. Let's remove the does. Yeah.
Okay. So 9 is nice, which I never remember. Because I'm lazy and I don't have to. That's a 6, so ooh, just a push.
Wherever you want to get under a blitz, really, isn't it? Blitz, yeah, blitz, yeah, okay, yeah.
I just got some tea, so that's why. Okay, so the skinks stay out. Oh no, that is unfortunate. Whereas Lycos KO comes back. This is going to be a rough start for the second half for Bouzzy. They shouldn't have. They both complained about there not being enough injuries in the first half, and once again we can see the deadly right-hand side of the feature table. Apparently that's where you don't want to be if you wanna have a team that stays on the pitch throughout all day today. If you've been on the right-hand side, you've had a lot more players in this area than the other player has had pieces in this area, so that's something to look out for. Now, I think it's important. While I do love not trying to jinx things, but I think it's important to note in this case that our coaches, of course, haven't been watching any of this stream, so they don't actually know that when they sit down. They've been busy playing Blood Bowl, whereas we have just been like, no, oh, the right-hand side. And Bouzzy actually did select. He came to the table first and did select the right-hand side. So, bold move, or just don't know where the cursed table is. It might change tomorrow when coaches have been warned about this. So I think our players are on a quick break to stretch their legs. I'm gonna do the same thing and see how much time is left on the clock, but we will be back shortly. I'm just gonna leave this open and on, so if anyone says anything exciting, you'll hear it. Okay, here we go.
Which is, oh my word, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Here comes the kickoff results.
8, reroll. I'm +1. I have up to 6. I'm going to get a reroll. Are you doing okay or not? Yes, I'm 1-0 up on my drive. But to be fair, as you see, Clement's...
Yeah, so number 8 was brilliant coaching. So more rerolls in the end.
No. The who did Palace? Huddersfield. Oh, was it Huddersfield Derby today?
In 89 minutes.
Oh, you're joking. Well, we're all over the shop.
So the only one skink for the Lizardmen team here. That's not where they want to be. Anything goes badly here, it's going to be a problem. But starting out with a POW, that's always something that you want. That's a good start, even though it's just a zombie. That's an 8. That is not good enough, unfortunately. It needs to be a 9 or higher, because zombies have armor value 8. But the POWs continue. More zombies getting knocked down. Unfortunately, nothing more than that. Let's see. The Crocs does want to do a thing, and another POW knocking, using the Crocs, and that did not seem to be enough.
The two fresh golems are amazing. Yeah. Here and here, in here. They
Yeah.
sucked out 4 of the
Yeah. Lycos pointing out how well his flesh golems performed, and when last half, and when I say it, it sounds like he's bragging, but he's not. He's just pointing out that they did more work than possibly he expected them to do. But there is not enough injury going on here for Bouzzy to have a good shot at getting this. But of course, they can score quickly, and if they do, getting some of those skinks back might mean another a shot at stealing the ball. On the other hand, just getting skinks back on defense are going to do a bit less. We kind of saw that in the first half, in that Bouzzy did have the skinks, but they didn't really do much because strength 2 is a lot harder to use as a roadblock.
1, 2, 3, and 4. 3, 4, 5, 6. 4. Okay, can I move into there? Alright. Go, that's moving to there. Just 8 against 11. Yes, I know.
Okay.
I can do nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just put
So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Got to put pressure on.
yeah, so moving the werewolf up to pressure the back.
3, 4. I misjudged that.
Okay.
I misjudged that.
It's unfortunate for Lycos. There's something there. He had a plan, but then he realized the setup and he doesn't like it anymore. We'll see what he does with it.
No, do I even bother blitzing now?
Okay. Doesn't want to blitz. It's not.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4. 1,
Okay.
2 die.
Okay, so instead going for the 1 die, the reverse frenzy trap here, managing to get a 2 die on the second, and that's actually enough. That's okay. The other way, well, you normally don't do a 2 die into a 1 die, anyways. But I guess the payoff the other way around was too strong. Unfortunately, as has so often been the case in this game so far, the armor value is too strong.
Turn 2. I'm ready to go. Right, obviously.
Okay, and some pushes. Bouzzy is not pleased, which I can understand at this point he does need some assistance, but if he were to get some assistance, that would definitely help him. But Nuffle has not been kind to the right-hand side of the table so far. We'll see what there is left that Luki can do. Bouzzy can do. Lycos did put pressure on with both the werewolf and the one of the whites, I think it is. Yeah, what can I do? What can I do? It's definitely, it's so tricky to see a way out of this. Of course, Bouzzy could try and move the skink further into what is part of his kind of cage here, but then the problem is that then the Necros are probably just gonna keep attacking it, and there's gonna be, well, at some point there's gonna be a scrim, and he doesn't have enough players for that. So yeah, tricky. Maybe, yeah. It's tricky, and of course, I mean, I don't like, yeah. I don't really know what to say right now, as you can tell. It's, I think he just has to, there's something that needs to be done here. Bouzzy using the stun marker currently to look and see how far can he actually run. Yeah, the dice are not being nice at the moment, just pushes. But of course, even then, there is a ghoul standing around right here in this area that's not based by anyone. So even if Bouzzy were to go down here, what's the plan here? How do you keep this safe? Yeah, most of the pieces are kind of difficult to make out. I agree. The important things, I think, Bouzzy is pretty easy so far. This is a Crocs, the other one's a Sora, this is a Skink. This here and this here are the flesh golems. They've got basically helmets on them. And then we have, we have a werewolf here. And we have the other werewolf here. And then the ghouls are here and here. And the other ones are zombies. Yeah, the reddish browns are lizards, and the not reddish browns are necromantic. But yeah, it's one of those difficult turns where you have to. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. That's a POW, so maybe something can happen here. It's still, I was gonna say just a zombie, but it is just a zombie. And even then, nope, zombie stays on the pitch. Doing some counting here. So somewhere these Bouzzy has cleared a path for some of his free players now, but then the question is, like this piece here, and this skink, but then, like, where do you go? Where do you keep things safe? There's the possibility of a blitz and then running around, like over here, and I think that's what Bouzzy's thinking about now, trying to figure out where's the best position for my skink, where's the best position for my Soras. And people have asked this before, and the coaches are not. They're playing on a collected. They have 2.5 hours for the full game, and then they're free to spend that time how they wish. If one of the coaches thinks the other one is taking way too long, they can request to start playing on a chess clock, but that is not the default. And so far at the feature table, that has not happened. And here comes the blitz from up here, probably attempting to then at least get a push and then be able to run down. And that's a block. Bouzzy realized he knocked the camera around and then fixed it himself. Unfortunately, a 7, not good enough, but the piece has been knocked down.
Okay, go for it there.
Going for it here. That's a 2, that's good enough. So there is at least some semblance of a cage here. Whoops. So moving the skink down. Let's see how many squares the skink actually has left now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there is a possible scoring threat next turn. And
Oh, nice. 2 dice. Yep.
let's see what happens here. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, this is... let me fix the channel info for that.
You did the important bits here. What? You did the important bits here. You got them done. Yeah. Go for it. That's good. No.
There we go. Should be updated now, so everyone can see what's going on. There we go. Let's say. Yeah. Okay. So the scoring threat is here. Let's see what Lycos can do about it. He does have some very fast-moving pieces in the werewolf, and he does have some ghouls that should be pretty reliably be able to dodge out. Yeah, so... Yeah, so Lycos is going through what he wants to do. It's a 2 die on with the Claw Mighty Blow Werewolf. Needs to be pleased with that. And let's see what the result is. That is good enough to break. Well, that's a 10. That's a dead Soros. That's rough. But it is, at least with the Claw Mighty Blow Werewolf, so it was bound to happen. Like, it's at least not armor. Well, it was armor value 9 breaking because he rolled 11 on the armor value, but... Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think I should take that chance. I could get the push.
Okay, so Lycos is going to go for a 1 die block here to get some more assists on next to the... Ooh, that's... Oh, that the punishment, it just keeps coming. It hasn't stopped. And that's 11. That's an armor break again. What happens? And a 10. Another Soros injured and out in the same turn.
5 to there. 2 die hit with the on the skink.
Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh, that was... That was close though. Of course, remember the skinks come with dodge, and that is the let's see, the yellow. So that is the actually that's the block tackle white, so it doesn't matter. I keep looking at my cheat sheet rather than just looking at the stream where it actually says what the colors indicate. Yeah, the right hand curse strikes yet again. It's
Okay.
that's a 6.
But he's
He managed to pick up. Okay, that might actually.
okay.
Yeah, that's not good for Bouzzy. But then again, he had a horrible turn, and this was Lycos' turn 2. That was essentially Bouzzy's. I'm always worried that I pronounce his name wrong. Yeah,
Leave it there.
Bouzzy. Hopefully. No. Names. Ouch. That. So let's start with the good news then. Good news is there is still a skink on the pitch. Bad news is he's got less Sora's friends to hang out with because 2 of them just got into the injury box and they're not coming back. Regardless of how well this drive goes for Bouzzy, he is going to be, best case scenario, he's going to be down 4 players coming into what would then be a 3rd and final drive. And he'd only be playing with 8 because he has a total of 12. Tomorrow you have to be sneaky and turn the table so that the right side is on the left, so everyone trying to not get cursed gets it. Yeah. That's a smart idea. Okay. At least they managed to knock down one of the werewolves. It's probably not going to do too much. Yeah, and Bouzzy realizes he can't move the Azores away. That's that breaks armor, and that's a KO.
Well, you kind of needed something, didn't you?
So I guess the armor breaks just keep flowing here. He says, yeah, if you want to win EuroBowl, sit on the left. It's we're always trying to get the top 2 nations playing on the feature table if we can, because we could essentially ask whoever we want, but I feel like it's fun to look at the top while trying to find matches where you can actually distinguish the different pieces. And now apparently the POWs are flowing. Let's see. Went. So Bouzzy went for the possible 1-die surf there rather than the POW, but the ball carrier has tackle, so it's a 3+ without a reroll for the blitz, and because of that he changed his mind, at least for now. Rolled a 1, which boneheads the Crocs, and I think that's the first bonehead we've seen. And here comes the blitz. It's a 3. That's good enough. Here comes the 1-die. It's a pow. It's a push. That is just what he wants. And let's see what happens. That's an 8. So that's another KO.
3, 4, hit 5.
And now the so 4, 5, 7. Yeah, Bouzzy's debating, saying that he can't protect the skink, and that's kind of important. The 1-die block is good. The armor break is not.
10-3.
And that's, yeah. As Lyco points out, this is turn 3 in the second half, and things quickly kind of went downhill. Two Sauruses lost, but at least one werewolf and the green piece, one of the, I think that's a guard white, that has been pushed out as well. But of course, Bouzzy is in control of the ball here and scored in the first half, which makes things, Lycos, if Bouzzy wants to win, he needs to steal the ball back, and that's going to be difficult. cKnoor breaks armor again. That's an 8. That's a KO into the KO box with you. Exactly. All of a sudden, everything. Oh, well. When it rains, it pours, apparently.
Oh, straight through anyway. Just like my cKnoor, and oh no, this is, yeah, absolutely. This is getting bad, isn't it? That gives the cKnoor 2 dice on him. Yep. So he's binned. So he's having his go. Hang on. He's not binned yet. He's just done that one. He's now got 2 on him because he's stood up. That's it, move. He's not moved yet. 2 dice on him. On the proxy.
Yeah, and the pounds just keep coming, this time on the cKnoor. Everyone's getting knocked down. The only 2 pieces that are currently standing are, well, these guys right here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So now they're...
He's blocked that guy there. So done, and let's hit him. And he'll go there.
Whew. This is looking... The Necromantic wants Lizard Reigns. Yeah. The cKnoor wants to stand up, so that's nice. cKnoor is back in action, being annoying. And the... Wow. That
Beer from Finland.
Yeah, beer from Finland is very loud. He came up to me earlier and tried to pitch me a joke. It was not a good joke.
It was a joke?
No, it was bitch and pitch.
Oh.
Because in the so in the last game, the one that kind of matters tomorrow, Game 6, whoever wins that game gets to take home the Blood Bowl EuroBowl 2016 pitch, which means that half of everyone here is going to get a pitch, and it's a pretty sweet pitch actually. Just looks, there's a lot going on camera, but it has a lot of really useful information on it in the top, which we don't really show. But managing here, Bouzzy managing to base the ghoul that's holding onto the, no, that's the white. I'm sorry, that's holding onto the ball. That is the block tackle white that's holding onto it. So Lycos might not want to dodge away here, but rather, well, he probably always want to blitz the Saurus free, the white free. But another push. Stand firm does nothing because stand firm's too powerful.
Yeah, your turn 4, that was. That was your 4, right, yeah. 3, 4. 2
It is. If you hear someone being loud in the background, it's usually beer. That's, and I'm saying that from sitting in here. So, but yes, it sounds like the same dude, and I'm gonna assume it's the same dude. Part of the Finnish contingency, or contingent rather. Okay, and I think it's important here to point out as well that Lycos don't necessarily need to score right now. He's already 1 up, so if he can just secure this, and that's pushes. Now, normally you'd be happy with that if you were a coach who had just based the other team's ball carrier, but the Sauri, can't dodge themselves free, so they have to blitz themselves free. And if they're stuck on a player, they have to do the same thing over and over again, which is blitz and then run forward, basically stopping any attempt at a blitz. Okay, let's see, 3-die hit here on the skink, but dodge saves the day. And the unfortunate thing here for Bouzzy as well is that because the ball carrier, for some insane reason, in that the ball carrier actually managed to pick the ball up, since the ball carrier has tackle, the best piece to actually base the ball with, or the easiest piece to base the ball carrier with, would be the skink. But it's the last skink, and since the piece has tackle, then it's just so risky and also kind of useless, because it's a free 2-die blitz for the ball carrier, and the only failure is essentially a skull. And that's a 5+. That's a 4. See, the reroll comes out. That's a 3, and that's unfortunately not good enough. It was, however, a decent attempt at some point. The back was open there for the ball carrier, and if someone were to run down and do that blitz, it was probably that turn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2-die on the skink. Goodbye, skink. Yeah, without mighty blow. Yeah. So +2, isn't it? With Swiss the Matty Boy. Dead.
That's the last skink out.
Wow. Okay.
And that's because of the stunty and the mighty blow on the injury there. But no skinks means that there's no one to pick the ball up at this point, because agility 1 pieces don't really pick the ball up.
It's just getting crazy.
No,
it's just getting a bit. Yeah, it's getting silly now. Yeah, it's getting silly. 1, 2, 3.
but it also means, of course, for Bouzzy, it's not enough to actually stop this stolen ball. He actually has to score, which is, you know what? That's probably not going to happen. There are 3 turns left. With less and less lizards on the field, it gets easier to follow. Yeah, I guess that's true. So that's the scoring threat.
What we've now got is that even if you get the ball loose, who's going to pick it up? What? If you get it loose, there's no one to pick it up. That's the big problem now. I just do that for the short because I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, it's Bouzzy recognizes that it's over. Rerolled, that was a 1, but he still wants to give it a go. Unfortunately, didn't work. We'll see how badly this piece gets injured. Yeah, armor break again. Let's see him go to the casualty box. That's a KO. Holy crap. Apparently, lizards are not allowed to be on the pitch today. And apparently, Lockmund has found a computer, which is now he's in Twitch chat. Joining us just about this game, about when this game is about to end. Oh, pushing me into the golem here, since the golem must stand firm and it can't get pushed back. that claw mighty blow, and that's the Crocs out too on 11. Okay. There are 2 Soras left. And here comes the foul. See if we can get the pitch clear here. That's good enough to break armor. That is just a stun. It's 1 away from a KO. So yeah, there isn't. I don't. Is there a way for Bouzzy to come back from this? I don't think so. Bold claims. 2 turns left. Yeah. Here comes the blitz. It's just a push. That's so unfortunate. No, don't remove your scoring threat. What are you doing? Now you can't win. Oh no. To be fair, he couldn't win anyways because the other piece on the pitch is stunned and can't get to the ball. And the next turn is going to be turn 8, so then that piece wouldn't be able to blitz and pass because you're only allowed to do 1 of them. And yes, sure. Let's see if we can get some of the. Oh, okay. Holy shit! That is this game.
7-8. He moved. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, holy crap! This is.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so going for the full foul here. There is a chance. The pitch is not cleared. That is unfortunate. Now, Lycos could of course try and clear the pitch again next turn, but that's not going to happen because I think he. That's very impressive. We are going to go over to the interview cam and see if some of these people want to come in and talk to us and see how it went. So I'll be right back, you guys. Here we go. We only have 1 mic, and it's dark and dusty in here, so we'll have to try and share it. Now, you were not one of the players on the feature table just now, so
nope.
Who are you?
I am Mike Davis, username San0638. I'm NAF president, which means that I've been elected as president of the NAF, which is sort of a 3,000 member Blood Bowl membership organisation, basically. And I'm a member of Team Scotland.
Oh yeah, well, not everyone can. Like, I was going to say something mean, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh.
We are waiting for Lycos, which is was playing the Necron.
Necron? You're going all 40k.
Yes, I'm really bad. For some reason, it's stuck now. But he's playing the Necromantic team. Just did the pitch clear here, and since he's the captain, he has to go talk to his team. But he'll be in here afterwards to just do a quick update to what's happening. So, if you want to be a part of the NAF,
yep.
What do I need to do?
Yep, you just go to the NAF.net and sign up. So most people who are members of the NAF are there because they want to go to tournaments.
Yeah.
And so what happens is you get your tournament ranking. So every game that's recorded this weekend and for every other tournament that goes on is in a massive database.
Yeah.
And so it's just like a chess ranking. You start with 150 and then you go up and down for every race. So the elite players have a ranking of above 200. So some people like their rankings, but they're a little bit of a blunt tool. Yeah. And so it's mainly a record of every tournament game you've ever played. So I've played 297 tournament games now.
That's a lot of tournament games.
Yeah. No, 298 now. We're on now. Yeah. So game 5 tomorrow will be my 300th game.
Oh.
So yeah, that's mainly what it is. And when you sign up, it costs about $5 or $10, and you get some shiny dice and a little token or some coloured block dice. and you contribute towards sort of development of things like this. And the big one is the World Cup.
Yep.
Which was last year, so that couldn't really have happened, but without the NAF sort of pulling stuff together, and that was 1,000 people. This is 250, which is big, and that was 1,000, which is
that's 4 times
humongous.
as big.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, my math is usually bad, but on that I feel like I'm on point. I know what I'm talking about.
I am Scottish, Jimmy. My mum's Scottish. I could do a Scottish accent and everything if I wanted to, but I just don't.
So how are things going for Team Scotland so far?
Yeah, so moving on. No, we narrowly lost the first 2 rounds, 3.5 to 4.5.
Uh-huh.
But then you get your bonus points, so 3.5 to 5.5 technically.
Okay.
And so we're quite low. What we're mainly going for is hosting rights.
Yeah.
Because the team that's highest ranked at the end that hasn't hosted before gets to host in 2 years' time.
So who, when it comes to hosting rights, who are you competing with?
Wales are big at the moment. Wales are doing very well. Hungary are new and aren't doing very well. We've got Poland who are quite new. Norway and Switzerland haven't hosted before, but aren't very keen to because of the logistics of putting on such a big tournament. But yeah, it's mostly Scotland, Wales, but someone like Switzerland, Norway, Hungary, Poland could swoop in. Wales are doing pretty well. Scotland less so. We're getting quite drunk.
Oh yeah, that's. I keep coming out, and there are bottles of beer on most of the tables, and I'm in here drinking lovely water out of this thing.
You got some lovely Swedish mineral water.
Yeah, well, it's tap water. Actually. This is all. Yeah, pulling out all the stops. I part of me is like, ooh, I should get a beer, but I'm cough. First of all, I'm super I'd fall asleep.
Yeah, no, that's also true. Well, my Blood Bowl is a lot worse when I'm drunk, and this is the problem. So I'm on a tie and 2 losses so far, whereas the first 20 games of this year, I went unbeaten. With
and
Necro.
how many other? So how many games this year other than these have you played? Tipsy. Tipsy.
Oh, right.
Because I'm not saying. I don't want to say that you're drunk because I don't think you are.
No, not quite. Not very many. No, I tend to. This is what happens at EuroBowl. I play sober at most tournaments, and then I come to EuroBowl, and someone buys the first round at about 10 o'clock, 10:30, and it goes wrong. So almost as if there's some sort of correlation between sobriety and efficiency at Blood Bowl.
And would you then say? Would you make the argument then because the English have been doing very well, and they've done very well in the 2 previous EuroBowls to this, so they're trying to get their 3rd win.
Yes.
Would you say
their 5th win in total.
Yes, but a 3rd in a row.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that? Can we have it officially from NAF that's because they are better at handling their drinks?
No, they don't drink as much.
Oh,
it's definitely true. They don't drink as much. They take it quite seriously, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do. It's a population thing, really. They've got lots and lots and lots of players, and Scotland have fewer players to choose from.
Oh, I see.
That's what it is. I do have a kilt on. Someone's saying I don't have a kilt.
Yeah, no, most of all of the Scottish team and some of the part of the German team.
Only one of the German team because he's a laird.
Yeah,
he went on honeymoon in Scotland and was made a laird of the manor.
But he's actually it was. Doc Max.
Yeah, Doc Max. I played him just now.
Oh, how did it go?
It did not go well. He slammed me. I was under team orders to go for a win.
Yeah.
And so I could have easily stalled out for the draw, but I was under team orders to go for the win. So I pushed for the win, and then he scored in a couple of turns.
Yeah, he was here on the feature table on the first game, and he didn't.
That went less well.
Yes, it turns out. Do you want some insider information that might help you tomorrow?
What's that?
Don't play on the right-hand side of the feature table.
Oh, but they've lost all 3 times, have they?
They've lost all 3 times, and they have at least 3 people in the casualty box by the end of it.
Is that the right-hand side as you look at it?
No. If you're standing in front of the stage, it's on the left-hand side. You want to sit closer to this the door here. That's the winning side. It's won all 3 so far and taken almost no casualties.
Excellent. That is a good tactic.
Mm-hmm. So what's the plan for the rest of the day now? Because we've gone through the 3 games today.
Yes.
Then we'll be back at it tomorrow.
Yes.
At 9 in the morning, apparently.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Wow.
That's
impressive.
Yes, Sunday we start at 9.
Dice at 9. Okay, cool. There's a EuroBowl captains meeting after this, so all the captains will gather and have a chat about future EuroBowls. So Portugal is next year. And they are going to say when it's going to be and where it's going to be, and then we're going to talk about how future ones are organised, and anything logistically that needs to be spoken. So it's always a bit tricky with lots of different nations and languages being spoken.
Yeah, of course.
So that's the plan, and then everyone will gather in various places for food and more drink, and enjoy EuroBowl.
Yes,
and then gather again at 9 o'clock
if you can.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. No, EuroBowl's nice. It's a lovely place. Where are you staying at the hotel?
I am staying at the hotel. Yeah. No, it's nice. It's just that since I live in Stockholm and stuff, I kind of have to. There has to be at least some places where you're like, oh, this is a bit shit, innit?
And EuroBowl is the place.
Well, for me, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Also, I never ever go to Örebro, so it's an easy place to dislike because you don't have to be like go there and be like, oh, now I have to stand for this. Except for, I mean, clearly it backfired in this case.
We are in a lovely castle.
One thing I forgot to mention, I have mentioned it, but I haven't actually shown it off because have you gotten your moose yet?
I have. He's pretty amazing, isn't he?
Yeah, and I actually got mine painted because they were like, he only plays digital Blood Bowl. And they were absolutely right. They were like, do you want to paint yours? And I'm like, I prefer not to. So they actually painted it for me, and
that's pretty awesome.
I don't think we're not getting the focus on the moose here, but it's an amazing Moosotar.
But the impressive thing is it's a one-piece model as well, which is really nice. I think it's one of the biggest one-piece models I've seen, and it is really cool, and it matches the logo really well. Yeah, as well. So they've sort of captured it.
It's super cool, and now I have one, and you guys watching don't. Assuming, well, Lachlan was in here previously, and I'm sure he has one. No, but it's really nice.
It is awesome.
And I felt like I had to mention it.
So have you got any other miniatures?
I have 3 full teams.
Okay.
It's just, well, I have the out of the box humans and orcs with added miniatures, so I actually have full teams because you only get like 2 black orcs. Half painted, both teams.
By you?
Yes, by me. I mean, they're not badly painted. It's just that I'm like, I started painting them forever ago, and then I forgot how to paint properly. And then I have an old school Norse team where everyone was 6-3-3-7.
Oh right, yeah.
And you had 4 blitzers instead.
Okay.
And then and I have catchers, which is actual Norse catchers with like
the big hands.
Yeah, with big claw hands.
Well, those are runners nowadays.
Yeah, I also have 2 throwers.
Okay. Which everyone uses all the time, obviously. Yeah, they're really good.
Mm-hmm. No, so those are the teams I have, and then I have like a Minotaur and an Ogre. So I do have I have a lot of pieces with my and I have a proper board, but now I need to get the new one because I just need to have it.
Yeah, I know it's a tricky one. I don't know if they're going to release the rules in PDF, because if they did that, then I would be tempted just to get those, because I have more boards and teams than I could shake a very big stick at.
Yeah, it's that thing. We don't need to discuss that now on stream, but
the new Blood Bowl.
The new. I mean, it's one of those cases where I'm like, I always want more. I want more people playing Blood Bowl all the time. Yes. So if they do release a new version and they do a marketing push for it, that's probably good.
Yes.
Like it's not going to be bad.
No.
In the sense, but at the same time, they could do the cyanide thing where they just change some rules randomly, and you're like, but why would you do this?
Well,
this makes no sense.
Yeah, well, yes, they are. Well,
you
probably don't want to stray into Blood Bowl rules discussion at the moment.
No, I did see the page that someone had photographed that they did change the human catchers
to match BB2.
No, they didn't. They
60K.
No, the human catchers in BB2 have armor value 8.
Ah, so they've gone the
So they've gone the other way, so it's 16k armor value 7, so it's now a cheaper piece, which I honestly find more interesting, because then you're like, is this possibly a movement 8 foul piece?
Yeah.
Could be. It's because it's a bit shit as a catcher, because it's got agility 3.
Yeah.
But it's one of those cases where you're like, this is not necessarily an on-the-surface horrible change. It's more of this might actually change the makeup of some human teams, which it's always fun.
It might marginally change it, yeah.
Bigger squares. I haven't actually seen the board. If the board is
so
bigger.
It's 34 millimeters. I've made myself one.
Oh.
There is a tournament issue with bigger squares.
Yeah.
In that lots of the tables exactly.
Yeah, we were talking about it on stream earlier, that it's nice to have bigger squares, but I'm like, yeah, I'll just have to zoom out more. Doesn't fit in the picture anyways.
No, absolutely. So I've done some streaming as well, and it is a bit tricky in terms of seeing which figure is which. Isn't it?
Yes.
And to be honest, what I would do tomorrow if I were you is swap out the Blood Bowl EuroBowl pitch for a pure green pitch.
Yeah, we'll see. If we can find one, I guess it shouldn't be too hard. We'll see. We'll see if we can get someone on that. Yeah, see if that helps.
My favourite streaming pitch is my homemade one, which is just polystyrene. It's just green flock.
Yeah.
And sort of black and white around the outside.
Yeah, no, there are. I think there are. You can definitely tell from each of the games going through how some small things have changed. And hopefully we can swap out the pitch for tomorrow and see that, like you said, that should probably help. But there are. It also, by the way, helps to stream teams that are more easily recognized. Like
lizards would be perfect.
Lizards are really good, especially if all of the swords have block, and that's the only upgrade.
Yeah, which is a standard lizard build, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's really good.
What got better and better?
The stream.
The stream. Well, happy days.
I mean, the first. Let me. So for the first stream, I didn't have this thing that I have now.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, which I don't use that much.
Oh, okay.
It's there if I want to point at things, I can do that.
What I've used before is a little counter that says how many rerolls people have got left and which turn you're on.
Yep.
And you just click up and down. It's something that Krista put together for me on Fumble. So you could easily download that and use that somewhere if you wanted.
Yeah, well, we'll see if I can fit it in. I've got so many windows already.
So have you got the dice on there when you're doing it?
Yeah, the dice are in.
The dice are there.
Yeah, let me show you.
I haven't watched it.
Experience this.
Look, I've got a microphone all to myself. I could just say anything I wanted. Look at that. Ah, I see. All right, so you got double sixes. Did you put those there? Or did you just roll those?
I rolled them through the dice tower. See, that's why I don't roll tabletop. I roll too good. People get cranky.
And so those colours are the skills?
Yeah.
Excellent.
That is the plan. Okay, let's see if we can...
Shall I go and get Lycos for you?
Yeah, if he's around, let's see if we can find him.
You have a good jar of biscuits there.
I do. This lighting, by the way, makes everything look slightly sickly. You're like, everyone's like, what's going on? Everyone's really blue. Yeah, see? Better cKnoor than good. That's how it works. So we're going to see if we can get ourselves a quick chat with Lycos here and see what he thought about his win. And then we are done for the day. Isn't that exciting? I can go to bed soon, guys. I can like go to bed at, like in 2 hours possibly, because I have to eat first. There we go. Come sit here.
Incredibly close out on our table one.
Oh,
England, France.
Oh, is it still
very, very close?
How many games left?
2 games left. It looks like it's going to be 4-4 in points. So yeah.
And what were you looking for? I mean, what do you feel like you need to...
Always try and win the round.
Yeah.
Even if it's 4.5, 3.5. France are an excellent team, arguably possibly even got the edge on us. Probably going to the tournament, probably I would say France probably the strongest on paper.
Yeah.
But we would definitely take a 4-4. I mean, we would get a 1.5 ahead going into the game, so
Okay. Well, let's talk about your game.
Yes.
It started out interesting. I feel like it was tense.
I was going to say
first half.
uninteresting in the sense that Bouzzy and I know each other really well.
Yeah.
And for the first 4 turns, no one did anything.
I know.
We were hitting each other. It was push, you know.
But,
I think...
go on.
I would say no one was breaking any armour. I would say I think we agreed at the half-time the feature was the 2 flesh golems just getting pushes, occasional knockdowns but not breaking armour. And it was for like, 4 turns, almost 5 turns, just nothing happened. And then, I can't remember exactly what happened, but the skinks suddenly disappeared.
You got rid of 2 skinks, and then 2 more skinks disappeared.
Yes.
I think the first one, or one of the first ones, was you using your Mighty Blow Werewolf on a skink at the bottom.
Right. That's right.
Your right-hand side, getting rid of it, and then...
Because I had to keep switching. Because, again, no one was doing any damage. It's my drive. I think the onus is on me to get the score. He was doing the right thing by just sort of trying to keep a line defence. But as soon as there was a bit of a gap down the side, you're right, that's when the skink went off, and then another one followed. And obviously the re-rolls at... the KOs at half-time.
Yeah, he had horrible KO rolls.
Double 2 the first go at the end for his, and then for the start second half, double 1.
Yeah, because we were, I was talking about it, and you're kind of like, okay, so there are 2 skinks that are KO'd, but at least he's got 2 attempts. Yeah. Surely 1 should come back.
Statistically, 3 should come back.
Yeah.
So if you've got 4 rolls and there are 50-50 rolls, you're going to think, 3 of them are back. But obviously that was, I think we both pretty experienced players, we both know that was big.
Yeah.
1 skink for the second half, and anything happens to that, then game over. But then it wasn't even that, was it?
No.
It was, I guess you were watching, it was then removing 2 Saurus almost immediately.
Yeah. No, it was... even though he was down, I felt like the chances he had, you could see what he was going for, and you're like, yes, this is probably the play. You need to... He
had to score fairly quickly to get those guys back out. So I think he was that little play over to the side when he was trying to get the skink in range, at least if he had to go for it. But that, there was obviously the fairly crucial 1-die block that knocked the Saurus down. That was, tackle white against the skink is a messy ending usually.
No, it was. I personally found it interesting. It was an interesting spectacle in the second half when things started disappearing.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the first few turns in the first half because that's usually when nothing happens. That's when positioning matters even more.
Yep.
And that's I find that's really that's what I like watching if I'm watching things on my own on Fumble.
It was good. The first 4 turns, although I think we weren't getting frustrated because we know each other so well. But no one was even going down, was it? It was hardly any armor rolls. So It
was an interesting game. I'm gonna, like I always do, I'm gonna wish you good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you. Big day tomorrow.
Assuming you're not playing Sweden, in which case please lose.
Well, I don't know how Sweden are doing. I think
not good enough.
France and England are gonna be virtually dead level. We may be half a point ahead overnight, depending how those games right now finish. And long way. Italians, they're gonna come up strong tomorrow.
Well. It's tomorrow is when all of it basically. We find out who wins and who loses. We have 3 more games tomorrow, and after that, we should have the winner of the EuroBowl. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go have something to eat and then sleep for 12 hours or something like that. And I'll see you all here again bright and early tomorrow. We start at 9.
Oh God!
I know. At least they have a really good breakfast at the hotel.
That's at least the amount of beers I need to sink. So,
Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye, bye, bye.